beautiful souls, and welcome back to Little Lotus Love Tales. I'm your host, Neha, a mom, a project manager, an entrepreneur in the making, and your fellow traveler in this journey of balancing business, family, and sanity. Today, we are diving into a topic that's so important, especially when you're starting your own business or building your brand. And I had a hard time figuring it out. I consider myself socially awkward and not an extrovert of the highest degree. Thus, this is something I really want to work upon, and that is networking as a mompreneur. Recently, I went to an Aspire conference in Fort Lauderdale and I heard Gary Vee. He mentioned two critical things. A, your personal brand should be on all social platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Shorts. And second, spend at least 50 to 100 hours of research on AI in a week. He explains this with an example. He says, if you walk into a kitchen and say, Alexa, order pizza. If you don't have a brand, Alexa is going to decide where that order goes. But if you do have a brand, you win. Let me explain this by an example. If you say, Alexa, order Pizza Hut, now that's a brand. And brand is the only thing that will matter when AI is doing everything for us. And what's the best way to build a brand other than networking? And as we juggle family life, business, and everything in between, connecting with others in a meaningful way can sometimes fall to the bottom of our to-do list. But let me tell you, as Gary Vee explained, networking is vital for growth, both personally and for the business. And here's the good news. Networking doesn't have to be overwhelming, and it certainly doesn't have to take up all your time. I figured this out, so you don't have to. In today's episode, I'm sharing 5 practical strategies that help you network effectively without feeling like it's one more thing on your already full plate. Plus, I'll introduce you to some awesome tools and examples that can make networking a breeze. Ready to dive in? Let's get started. The first strategy I want to talk about is leveraging social media to create consistent engagement. Hear me out before you switch off, but social media is what makes or breaks a brand. And one thing that's always debatable for social media is whether to post more and often versus posting meaningful content. Social media can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's an essential tool for business growth and connecting with potential customers. On the other hand, it can become overwhelming, especially when you are balancing the demands of parenting and entrepreneurship. But here's the thing. Social media is one of the most powerful tools for networking that you cannot ignore. And it's all about being intentional with your time and engagement. You don't have to spend hours scrolling. Instead, you want to spend time creating meaningful interactions. So how to do it without wasting hours on social media? The practical approach is to set aside 10-15 minutes a day to engage with others in your industry. It could be leaving a thoughtful comment on someone's post, liking their stories, or responding to DMs. For example, I have met so many incredible entrepreneurs, especially mothers, as I started networking. And by simply commenting on their posts or participating in their discussions, giveaways, and yaying on their small wins, not only brings so much joy, but these small interactions often lead to long-term relationships. You can arrange a live Zoom session, make fun content together, or even collaborate to do a product giveaway to boost both of your businesses. I reserve half an hour every day to comment on 5 mom bloggers, since mine is a baby skincare brand, and 5 entrepreneurs who are also growing their brand. And you will be surprised how much support the same business owners can provide you. Second effective way to network is to attend virtual networking events and webinars. During the pandemic, virtual events skyrocketed and they have only continued to grow. While nothing beats in-person meeting events, virtual events are also a great way to connect with like-minded people without leaving your home or disrupting your busy schedule. I love this flexibility because it helps me show up in my PJs with a cup of coffee and still make incredible connections. Now, how I do it, and you can tell me if there is a better way. I just register for any free webinar or Zoom link related to my industry and show up on the required time. And here's how I try to become more approachable. I put on a nice t-shirt, do my hair, and put on a little bit of makeup and keep my camera on. And then in the comment section, I share this one-liner. Hi, I'm Neha Saraya and I'm launching a baby skincare brand. Would love to connect on LinkedIn, and I add my LinkedIn link to this message. I cannot tell you how receptive people are towards this. They not only add you instantly, but you can reach out to them and build your connections gradually. Personally, I have a goal of attending one virtual event or webinar each week. These connections help in collaboration, partnerships, and even mentorships. The tools that you can use to leverage the right industry specific events are platforms like Eventbrite and Meetup. They have a range of free or low cost webinars, workshops, and networking events that are perfect for busy entrepreneurs. For instance, if you're in the beauty or skincare industry like I am, there are countless events that cover everything from marketing to product development. Also, groups like the Mompreneur Network and Boss Mom now host regular virtual networking meetups where like-minded entrepreneurs can connect, share resources, and learn from experts. Another great way to network is through collabs. It is a powerful yet often underutilized strategy. As an entrepreneur, you don't need to do it alone. Partnering with your fellow mom entrepreneurs can help you reach wider audiences, build your credibility, and grow your business faster. So how to do it? My suggestion is to look for businesses that align with your values or target audience. For example, if you're in the personal care goods segment like me, I would reach out to other mom entrepreneurs who sell products like baby clothing, toys, or even health supplements. I will host co-events and offer cross promotions or co-host events. I have realized that sharing our audience is one of the most effective ways to grow your community. The tool that you can use for this kind of networking is Canva, where you can create professional looking graphics for your cross promotion. Whether it's a social media post or email newsletters, Canva's easy to use templates are great to design content that reflects your brand's voice and style. Also, there is this current trend where mom entrepreneurs are hosting Instagram lives or Facebook groups together, offering valuable content to their shared audiences. This helps them to expand their reach and support each other in business. You can think of it like having your virtual business BFFs. And I want to talk about using networking apps. No, I'm not talking about Tinder, but apps for business founders. When I first started my business, I thought that networking meant attending events or coffee meetings. Now, these are the things I don't have much time for, but gradually I found that there's a better way to connect, especially if your schedule is always packed. And these are networking apps. Networking app like Lunch Club is a fantastic tool for mom entrepreneurs. This app uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to connect people that share similar interests, values, and goals. The user defines their interests, including career, funding, partnerships, new business ideas, and more. Then its machine learning and AI process creates profiles from user information and their public data sources. They match up people using this data based on their interests and objectives. Apps like Lunch Clubs have gained massive popularity in the entrepreneurial space, especially among busy moms who need efficient, quick ways to network. Lastly, I want to talk about follow-ups. And trust me when I say that this is the hardest part for me. I meet people, have great conversation with them, but I struggle to keep the conversation going at all times. But over time, I have realized follow-up is where the actual magic happens. After connecting with someone, it's essential to nurture that relationship over time. Sending a quick follow-up message shows that you have valued the connection and are genuinely interested in building a relationship. So now, when I meet somebody, whether it's an event or at a Zoom call or even through social media, I always send a follow-up message. It could be as simple as, hey, it was so nice connecting with you today. Let's stay in touch. I try to keep it light, personal, and professional. Networking apps like LinkedIn have become more than just a digital resume. They are a platform for ongoing engagement. I have noticed that many entrepreneurs are using LinkedIn to follow up with a personal message after meeting at an event, which builds trust and increases the likelihood of future collaboration. You can use LinkedIn, share virtual greeting cards, or even send a brief DM on Insta, but following up on that connection is crucial. There you have it, mamas. 5 practical strategies to help you network like a pro, even in the midst of a busy life. Remember, networking doesn't have to be overwhelming, and it certainly doesn't have to take up all your time. Focus on quality over quantity and be consistent in your efforts. Networking isn't about collecting contacts. It's about building relationships that support and uplift you. And before we wrap up, I would love to hear from you. What networking tools or strategies have helped you grow your business? Do you have any personal success stories to share? Reach out to me on social media or drop me a message here. And don't forget to share this episode with fellow mom entrepreneurs who could benefit from these tips. Until next time, keep building those connections and nourishing your network. If you've enjoyed this episode, let me know. I love to hear from you. And the best way to support the show is by hitting the subscribe button and share this episode with your friends, especially the ones who are currently on their entrepreneur journey. Because let's be real, we all need a little extra help sometimes. And the more parents, mom, entrepreneurs we reach, the more wins we can celebrate together. Thanks for being here. You're doing amazing. And I'll catch you in the next episode. With that, see you next Wednesday. The information provided in this podcast is for education purposes only and should not be considered professional, financial, medical, or parenting advice. While we do our best to provide accurate and up-to-date insights, we encourage you to do your own research and consult with relevant experts before making any decisions. Always use discretion when implementing new strategies in your parenting journey. Thanks for listening.